Hey, yo, what's up? You know what it is. It's the one and the only Professor L live in the LAB. And I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. Go ahead, come on into the lab, everybody. Come on in, take a seat, get your lab coats on, make sure you're nice and sterile. Don't touch anything you can't pay for, because this place is expensive. And I'm inviting y'all in here as a guest. So act like you got some sense. The one and only Triple the G.O.D. with you. Welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. Yo, Uchu, Sentai, Kyuranger, Space.28, Thieves, Breakup, ellipsis. Before we get into the mix and get to this episode, it's something that I want to talk about really quickly, because I don't know if I've made it clear, because trying to not make it clear at all about why we flipping it up a little bit. You should kind of know the answer about this. YouTube done changed how it is that if you want to do business, you got to do business a certain way. And, me trying to get more back into the analysis is part of it, because while I had fun spoofing and doing stuff, there were a lot of things I was saying that YouTube just did not agree with. And it's not that I don't care, but I understand and know what the numbers are. And I know that I can bring y'all that heat and still bring y'all analysis and do a balance of both, instead of it being skewed in one direction. So that's what this is. So I just want to just get out there in front while I got the class's attention and let y'all know what it is. But that seems to be everybody. You go ahead and close the doors now, sir. Thank you. We in the LAB. Like I said, Space number 28, Thieves, Breakup. I'm like, this was an interesting damn episode. I will say that. I will say that off the rip. This was an interesting episode, because it was the episode you knew was coming. And it's like, and it came this soon because of its ultimate ending and what happened and what it's setting up for. Kyuranger is about to get interesting again. Not saying that it hasn't been interesting, but this episode brought a lot of heat. I'm like, we start our episode, you know what I'm saying, with Naga in the streets going dumpster. He just sitting up here, destroy, destroy, destroy. I got my emotions, kill everything, wee! Just dumping and everything. It's like he just sitting there chilling or whatever, just sitting up there just laying waste to end divers in the cut, just sitting up here just going dumb, right? Just going dumb. It's like, and then, because this is the toy show, we got the camel cube, make Balance neck grow big, we have to mention the toys. The toys are important, you know what I'm saying? And they sitting there just like having a conversation like, yo, let's just remind the kids at home what we doing. We got to get Naga back. Naga's evil. You want to destroy stuff. Let's do that. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and then it's like Naga outside, like I'm like, Naga dumb on these feelings lean. The feelings lean. Like, I can even gave him the lean of feelings, and he is going stupid. He just destroying stuff, just going hamster dumb. Going dumb. And they sit up here, and the Kyurangers, of course, they engage him. And then him and Balance, Balance and Naga have that little interaction. Naga just sits up here, look at Balance like, man, being squad is dead, man. Get out of my face, dog. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, Naga don't care, son. He going stupid. He just don't give a, he don't care. And then, of course, they start fighting like, you can't do this. We best friends. Man, whatever, punk. Bow. They going dumped on each other. So they sit up here, and now the fight for Naga soul begin. And then there's a break. Cause it's what? The Kyuranger. Oh, I'll stop Kyurama, whatever. And now here is where we back to the show now. I've sung the dumb version of the theme song now. So we back to the action, and it's like, here's the thing, is that Naga sits up here, and it's like he's trying to get across and understand that this is the only way to be. This is what I wanted. That, yeah, I kind of technically took a shortcut to get the thing that I wanted, and it may have turned me into a bad guy, but all I wanted was my emotions. We understand from the 28 episodes we've watched, we know it's deeper than that, but because Naga's head's so jacked up, the only thing, and I haven't talked about this while analyzing the character in its current state from the past episodes that we spoke about, but The only thing Naga cared about when it came to that point, especially after all the hammy talk and everything that happened that led to him turning into Hebesukai Metal, is the end result. That's all Naga cared about. He didn't care how he got to point B. He got there. And because he's now there, he's in this. He's in this for the long haul and doesn't really care about anything or anybody. And then prove this again. And Balance is sitting up here still trying to convince his friend, like, yo. He like, Naga like, you don't want me to feel? Balance like, yeah, I want you to feel, cuz, but not like this. This ain't the way. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. They all catch L's. Let's just get to the point. Balance tried to convince Naga. Naga not hearing it. My Naga delivers these L's. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? In classic logic of the day, and I mention it every time this happens, in Sentai, I always have to mention it. The bad guy sits up here and tells you what you think you want to hear. In this case, Akiyama sits up here and tells the Kyurangers that, hey, if you want your friend back, you gotta hurt him really, really bad. So bad that he forgets that he was a bad guy, been around murking stuff this whole time, but if you hurt him, you'll turn him back. The Kyurangers are convinced that this is going to help. Come on now. This us, right? We in a lab, right? This is me. This is me teaching. This is you listening and trying to take all this in. Y'all know how this is going in. Let's not even sit up here and pretend like we don't know, like this is going to be some surprise that later when they actually do this in the episode it's not going to work because the bad guy's telling you something and you never listen to the bad guy. Just duh. You don't do that. It makes zero sense and it don't matter. What happens is that Wolf like, hey, yo, all I want to do was fight. So Wolf, he run over there. He finna go put in the work. Balance sits up her, grab his leg. Nah, man, don't do it, man. Come on, dog. Come on, Wolf, man. Come on, cuz. Please, man. Don't hurt me, man. Please, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, please, man, don't do it. The Kyuranger sit up here then explain to him, yeah, well, according to this bad guy we're not supposed to be listened to, the only way we can turn him back to normal is if we do a whole bunch of critical, insane damage to him so bad that he forgets that he's a bad guy and they've done all his work. You know, because, you know, listen to the bad guy. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's listen to the bad guy because, you know, this is a wonderful idea and it's going to go swimming. Naga's hearing none of this. He's like, I'm swimming in this feelings lane. And then delivers more L's. Yeah, delivers more L's. He sitting up here, he's swimming in the feelings lane, dog. He sits up here, he make them hold it, he make you hold the hell for caring about trying to free me from this alleged, what's the word I'm looking for? Bondage, we'll call it, of my feelings. So y'all catch a L. Well, they don't necessarily catch a L. They catch a L in like the mitosis of catching an L, right? Like, you catch a L because you know you're supposed to catch a L, but because the plot won't allow you to catch a L, you gonna catch this L anyway for technically catching an L before you don't catch an L. It's like L signs, right? But that's why we're in a classroom now, so I can sit up here and explain to you the dichotomy of how L's work and the various ways in which you can catch an L. In this case, my evil Naga is about to sit up here and hit them with the Dark Galaxy. But then this girl that looks just like Naga jump off, sits up here, hits them with the eye joints, and sits up here and she telling them, y'all need to get up out of her, like, and they leave. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they after like 30 seconds of them debating with this chick that looks like Naga, trying to debate about what exactly we supposed to do, they get up and escape. And as they escape, because Lucky calls he calls his Zordo, and the Zordo come pick them up like, yo, where y'all want to go? I'm like, we just trying to warp somewhere, like the nearest place or something. It's like the bird in Legend of Zelda. The second time I've mentioned Legend of Zelda and something. But I want to play the Link to the Past. I ain't played it in a while, but we'll talk about that. But yeah, they get away. Akiyama sits up here and she asks Naga, like, you know what that is? Nope, no idea. So So the squad in the cut, right? And they sitting up here like, yo, you look just like Naga. And she like, but who is you? Like, we ain't ever seen you. She sits up here and says, my name is Echidna from this great PS2 game called The Bouncer, and I gotta kill Naga. Excuse what? First of all, what's the Bouncer? Second of all, why you gotta kill my Naga? She sits up here and explains that because his feelings have been unleashed and that feelings are bad, that feelings are, countered by death because we got to kill it. Because if you let him run around with all of his emotions all out, he gonna hurt somebody for real, and he represents Snake Land, and Snake Land not down there, so Snake Land killed me to kill him. So it's just like, what now? I'm like, let's think about this for like half a second, right? Y'all sitting up here, y'all unfeeling and all of this or whatever, but then somebody get his feelings back, he's so dangerous that y'all gotta murder him. So here's my understanding, and this is the part like that. I just thought of this right now. So let me delve into my headspace for a moment. If I remember the story of Naga's people correctly, the only reason why Dark Matter, them boys, was able to run up and put in his work was because they too peaceful to put in work. But you telling me when one of y'all go rogue and sits up here and turns into metal and goes dumb and start doing dumb stuff, y'all got enough sense to go send somebody to kill him, but y'all didn't have enough sense to fight back against when Dark Matter was trying to subjugate your people. Bonus game fail. I can't. See, again, I have to remember, this is a children's television show that is created to sell toys. The logic sometimes, it makes zero sense. Zero sense in logic, and we just gonna take it exactly as that. Zero logic. It's making my head hurt right now, I swear. Making my head hurt, you know what I'm saying? But then here's the twist though. We finally get the truth. Well, a truth we kind of already knew was Balance lied to Naga about initially wanting to help him, even though he ultimately started helping him. It was just one of those things that just accidentally, magically fell into place. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's Balance's fault that this happened, more or less, because when they first, because we remember that we've heard the story before about how they first met, but they really haven't elaborated on much, was that they met and he's helping me get my emotions back. But we have to, the assumption was made early on, and even I made it, was that Balance lied to Naga, and we learned later in the episode that is exactly true, and Echidna from the Bouncer confirms this. So there is that. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I need to get my voice on for this. Meanwhile, on my Uncle Orion in the past. Oh, the other squad. Oh, Time Squad made it though. They made it to the past though, and it seems that that doing a warp to the past then fix Shinron Perks back. So that's cool, and we in the past now. They sit up here, Birdman, like, yo, we need to go somewhere. They like, where's that? We need to go to Final Destination with items on because, we need to see what happened when I use items against the final boss, which is Dark Matter. So, they go over there and they go watch the fight between what's left of what my name is, Birdman Squad. And we've seen all this before. Cuervo the Drink sits up here, takes giant massive L, and then he sits up here and channels all his fire and emotion and all of this old stuff and all of his humanity and whatever else. What is it? Invincibility, you can't die, immortal stuff, whatever. And then slices Jark and slices John Armage straight through the middle, which we get the kill confirmed. It's true. What my name is, Birdman put in his work and actually killed Dark Matter like he said he did. Put the work in. So we have confirmed that yes, Birdman ain't full of garbage like we thought he was. I never thought he was, but the squad thought he was. Like, man, how you kill Don Armaga and he's still alive? But your squad just sat up here and watched this fool get sliced down the middle and explode. I'm like, it seems that my theory of who Danar Amage really is starting to come to fruition. I really think that the theory that somebody else took up the mantle of Danar Amage and restarted Dark Matter is starting to come to fruition because of this kill confirmed. That's just my honest thoughts about that. My honest thoughts. And I have a feeling that we're going to get the answer sooner rather than later, given how this episode ended. Because of how this episode ended, I really think we're about to get the answers to the question of who is Danar Amage for real. So, we back on my uncle. And Birdman like, yo, we need to follow the homeboy Orion. Because in that same scene, we see somebody dragging Birdman away. And it's that Orion fellow. We've heard about him, about through Eris and things like that. And I've talked about him like in various lengths about he is the person who I think is Danar Amage right now. But, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is with that. So they go down to Earth. And they finna get ready to go to the Earth, in the past Earth. They sit up here and get knocked out by something. And then they just go through the hole. And we will learn the fate of the Orion and those boarded a little bit later. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Black in the future. Balance on a swing. And they sitting up here like, yo. He sits up here and then reconfirms to the rest of the squad that, yeah, I lied to Naga initially. And they go through this long throwback sequence of Naga was doing dirt, stealing something from Snake Land, and he sit up here and he bumps into Naga, and Naga sits up here and explains to him his raison d'etre of, I want my people to feel again, is that I wanted there to be peace, but I want there to be peace without having to sit up here and contain our emotions and all that. And balance being balanced at that time, and still being balanced of now to a degree, sits up here and tells Naga, yeah, whatever you need, cuz. Whatever you need. Like, yo, whatever you need, man, I help you. Whatever you want. And that's how the BN Squad was formed. I bet you there are some other inventions we don't probably know about, which are probably be in some V-Cinema or something, because they have to stretch this out somehow. But that is pretty much what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then it's like balance, but balance sits up here and starts to get into like this self-doubt of, if I never would have done that, none of this would have happened. But Lucky sits up here and say like, yeah, yo, things are bad, family. Don't get me wrong. They really, 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 really jacked up. But if you never would have met Naga, we never would have met the both of y'all. We never would have formed the Kyurangers, and we wouldn't have done the good things that we've done. Hammy sits up here, and it's like she sits up here and just reminds Balance of the reason why Naga wanted his emotions in the first place, was to make you happy. Because you were willing to sit up here, even though you initially lied to him. You became a very important part of his mission to get his emotions back. So he wanted to do that to make you happy. And it's like, I can understand that from a character standpoint, how that would make you feel very, 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 very bad about yourself, because the thing you say that you wanted that was initially a lie that became more of a truth as your relationship evolved with somebody, to sit up here and see that they, like I said earlier in this review, that he took a shortcut to get to where he got to, and it just went all sideways. So I can understand where Balance is right now as a character, because it makes sense. But then, you know what I'm saying? And a nice surprise and something that I appreciate, Balance like, look, that's my brother. That's family. We got to do what we got to do to put in this work, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes. We got to put in this work. We got to bring Naga home. So if y'all ready to do this, let's roll out. And that's what they do. And they roll out. They sit up here. You got Naga still going dumb. Emotions. Feelings lean. You gotta shoot to the left with the feelings lean, with the feelings lean, with the feelings lean. Man, to kill all the humans with my feelings lean, with my feelings. Okay, I'm gonna stop singing Young Dro remixes. Fight now. So there's a nice fight for a while. I'm like, I'm gonna say this live though, for real. Watching the fight between Balance and Naga, dog, that hurt my heart, dog. And I'm like, and the reason why I mention this is because if watching them fight didn't hurt my heart and get me emotionally into it the way it did, then I would have sit up here at this point and say that the show failed. But I was in this. Is that you got these best friends divided by a goal that once united them, that has completely torn them apart and separated them in a way that you never saw coming. And that moment where Balance had Naga dead to rights, point blank, I teared up a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie, because that was hard to watch. That was hard to watch because I am emotionally invested in this TV show that I watch and the characters in it. That made me tear up a bit because that was hard to watch. It was hard because you can feel that emotion of you do what you gotta do for family. And it's like, no matter what it is that it ultimately costs you, I'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. He had him dead to rights and just simply said that, yeah, I gotta do this, but you're not gonna do this alone. Bust those shots in the air, grabbed them and held them, and they took it together. That was hard to watch. It's like, I'm not sitting up saying that it was hard to watch because it was on TV. Again, let me remind you, it was hard to watch because I am emotionally invested in these characters and how they grow, how they learn, how they evolve. And this was a very strong character moment for the both of them. Even though Naga's in the headspace at the end, is that it's an important character moment for him, because trust me, when they get Naga back, this is going to be one of the moments that he remembers about what your fan willing to do whatever it takes to bring you home. You already know that's going to be that, even though it looked like for a second, you know what I'm saying, that maybe, still, this is going to be a catalyst, the beginning for Naga's turnaround. Just trust me. But I just want to just take a couple of moments and say, Uchu Sentai Kyuranger did an excellent job of having me invested in these characters, to have me invested in this moment, no matter which way it's ultimately going to go. The thing is, though, for all of that, it didn't work. And the thing that we said at the beginning of the episode has now come to pass. Why you listen to the bad guys? Akiyama confirms and sits up here and say that, yo, once his emotions are released, they're now coming back for him. Sorry, you're bad. And that's just what it was. It's like, again, like I said, it's like I said earlier, it's like, why would you sit up here and listen to the bad guy about how to turn him back? That never, ever, ever, ever look bad. It never works out. Always bad luck. It always ends bad. Why do you listen to the bad guy when they tell you something? Just saying. So, Naga and Akiyama, they sit up here, they escape for the day. And when they escape, we got us a Zord battle. Now, because Balance is messed up, for some reason, it's like you can't complete a Zord because there's only 5 of y'all. So Lucky, with some ingenious smarts, uses the Gemini Q timer on Wolf and Cutie Hammy, and then they all summon Zords. So I kind of found that odd, but from my also understanding that this has happened before, and I think in the Cho Superhero Taizen movie, I think the wiki said that this happened before. But yeah, it was a Zord battle, and they won. Nothing like impressive in the Zord battle happened, other than it was what? Left side Wolf, right side Cutie Hammy. It's like, well, this is a thing they can do. I'm like, it was, a good excuse to sit up here, promote this toy, that it does this thing. It was an ingenious move because Lucky usually never thinks, but it is what it is with that. Oh, and also, Lucky in that fight that had the emotional thing in it, he used the sun mode, but it didn't affect Naga for some reason. I felt that was worth mentioning, but it affected balance for like 2 seconds and then went away. So I don't really honestly get what was the point, but I just thought about it in my head and mentioned it. So after this is over, Echidna from the bouncer like, we gotta kill this fool. I'm sorry. There's really nothing I can really do about that. I do not apologize, but he is a threat to Snake Land, so we got to put this fool in the dirt. I'm gonna do that, so I don't really care if you have any objections, but I'm gonna put this fool in the dirt. Hold these L's. It's like Balance sits up here and sits up here and gives this emotional rousing speech of because it's first the way that the speech goes. He sits up here like he agreeing with old girl like, yeah, I'm with you. Psych. Sits up here like, that's family, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to protect my family, Naga family, and we gonna bring him home, and I'll stop you if you get in my way. And the Kyurangers and they run off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we gonna do this. While they running off, though, they sit up here and they get an emergency distress signal from the Orion, right? So they continue running off after they run off. Like, we determined to go get a boy back. And they go to the rock quarry where all the Sentai fights and Kamen Rider fights happen. And there's the Orion crashed into the dirt, like completely done. This confirms one thing. When the Orion in the past crashed earlier, it didn't go so well. And then they sit up here and they show a shot of all of the Time Squad just laid out. And it's like, and they show Orion standing over them, right? And it's like, you don't know whether it was the crash that took them out. Was it him that took them out? But what happened? Well, we don't know. Oh, but good news, the regular Q-Time and Dance is back, and Birdman's in it now, so that happened too. Oh, and by the way, that's an episode of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. Hope you guys enjoyed class. Look, thank you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. Appreciate y'all coming through to the LAB. The one and the only Professor L. You know how we get down. Yeah, real quickly before we get up out of here, I want to apologize for late stuff. I'm like, lately, man, my life has just been this real up and down thing, and like I don't have the time like I used to really sit down and get things done. But if you want something done, make the time to get things done. From Professor L to you. How about that? Other than that, given what things are and what they should be, y'all ain't heard the last from me today at least. So I'm gonna go get back to the work that is the work, and I'm gonna do some work. So with that being said, it is the one and the only Professor L. I'd like to thank you for joining me in the LAB. Please hang your lab coats up in your cubby holes, which are located on each side of the room. Get sterilized on your way out. Please don't touch nothing you can't pay for. And again, I'd like to thank you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. I am, of course, the one and the only, the Triple the G.O.D. And with that being said, Dark Shade!